good evening, Aston Villa fans, and welcome to the Villa Forever podcast. I am your host, Chad Williams. First of all, before we get started, if you are new, please subscribe. Subscribing is completely free. I'm getting very close to 800 subscribers, which is my next milestone. And it don't cost anything subscribing. This will massively help me out, and it will keep growing the channel. Let's spread awareness about Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Also, you know where to follow me. You can follow me wherever you get your podcast from, on all audio platforms, including Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. Well, let's introduce my special guest for this evening. I will announce them. We have Wolves fan Matt Bird on the show. Also, I will be joined by Aston Villa fan Niall Donlan as well. It's going to be a very entertaining podcast, and I will assure you there will be some good banter on this show. And on this episode, we're going to have two different perspectives, from an Aston Villa perspective and a Wolves perspective. I'll be doing the pre-match talk show, Aston Villa versus Wolves, Saturday, the 5:30 p.m. kickoff under the floodlights. Can Aston Villa finally end their poor record against Wolves with a victory on Saturday? It's going to be a magnificent atmosphere. There is 9 Premier League games to go. It's a crucial part of the season to start building momentum. It's great to have both of you on the show this evening. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. We're good, I think.
Yeah, looking forward to this.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good podcast. Like, there's a few good things to talk about with the game Saturday, and a few other, like, the positions in the league and Wolves going out of their cup against Coventry and things like that. So,
well, me and my granddad and my dad are going to the game on Saturday.
I'm going with my dad. Yeah, there's me and my dad going, and then like the pub be drinking. There's another few, about probably 10, 15 Wolves fans all going. So,
well, I'm going to give my granddad a lot of stick on Saturday.
No change there, chap.
Well, at the end of the game, somebody's going to be crying. Hopefully not us.
You got to beat the bogey team, though, ain't you?
Yeah, whatever happens, I'll take it. But hopefully, a victory over you, hopefully. So I'll get the tissues out for Grandad. Well, let's talk about Saturday then. The West Midlands Premier League derby. I'll start with you first, Matt. So, what are you expecting from the game?
It's going to be definitely harder than the last few, with where you are in the league and the football you've been playing. I know McGinn's out and a few people are worried about that sort of in midfield, but going forwards, the same as Coventry, we've got that many injuries. I think it's 4. Cunha might be back, but we've got a lot of injuries in the forward line. And against Coventry, we just had nothing going forward, really. I know we got the 2 goals, but, the strikers and the wingers didn't create too much throughout the game, I thought. So I think it'd be quite a tough game for us to try and go forward with the front line. So I think it's going to come from midfield and Ait-Nouri at left back.
Well, I think without Pedro Neto, it's going to be a big loss.
Yeah, I mean, I seen a stat the other week, and since I think it was 2021-22 season, he's hardly played many. You think, could you see him and he's scoring or assisting? You think he's played a lot more games than he actually has for us, but he's been injured quite a lot. So we've dealt with it before, and I'm sure we will again. But
I think with Pedro Neto, I'll say he's your best player, probably.
Yeah, when he's playing, he's very good. I think Cunha's done pretty well this season, and I like Lamina and Gomez in midfield. I think they've got the bit behind the teeth a bit, and they're quite aggressive in the midfield. So,
Well, I've been very impressed with Wolves this season.
Well, I think if somebody had said when O'Neill was appointed 3 days before the season and not being able to spend the money and all of those things, how do you think you'll get on? And I was quite happy to stay in the league because there might have been 3 worse teams because I didn't know what to expect. So as long as you sort of stayed up, you've got to take it. But then as you watch him and listen to him as a coach, you think, yeah, he's actually a lot better than what I think people thought.
Well, what do you expect for the game, Niall? What do you expect?
I think it'll be cagey. I mean, we always play Wolves at home, and it's very cagey. I've noticed. I mean, it's not many fucking games where I can think where we've beaten them. To be honest, that I've been to over the years. I just think it'll be cagey. You expect Villa to come flying out of the traps from the start, because obviously that's what we do at home normally. We like to score early, don't we? Like Matt said, I think McGinn's going to be a big loss though. It's going to be. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know whether they're going to play that Tim. I can't pronounce his second. You've done very well there. I wasn't even going to attempt that. I think you either bring him in as a direct replacement, or you shift Tielemans to that position and you bring in Rodgers maybe and play him out on that hybrid left wing channel. It's going to, like I say, it's going to be a huge loss because obviously he's got that passion and the leadership quality as well. I know we've still got that at the back with Konza as well and the goalie, but it's that middle of the park. It's just
in the derby as well. You need exactly. John McGinn, yeah.
Yeah, I think so because we've got Lamina and Gomez who are quite, they like the hard tackles and they like the fight, whereas same as John McGinn. So I think it would have been quite a good battle actually to sort of watch.
Yeah, there's no other midfielder there either that has that, like a direct replacement to bring that bite into midfield. I can't think of anyone. They're good players, don't get me wrong, but there's no one who's got that same kind. Like no one else would have done that against Tottenham, for example, to get the red. I mean, and I didn't think it was red, by the way, but
I think it's going to be an important game for both teams. Big game for both teams, yeah.
Yeah, and like it's a derby, isn't it? I know it's not the derby. I mean, they're about as relevant as Gillingham to me, but that's not a dig. Just it's like any other game to me Saturday, really. But it's still nice to get one over on a team that don't particularly like us.
I think it's become a derby because, and this isn't me sort of down running the others, but because we're the only sort of 2 teams in the Midlands up there, they're the only sort of derbies we have in the season. I know we've had West Brom in the cup this year, but not like normally it's the Villa Wolves is the derby, so that's the game that gets everyone a bit more.
It's not our fault that it's not our fault that our distant cousins West Brom and Blues aren't doing so well, is it? So it's not
such a shame, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I don't really mind Wolves. I mean, all the teams, I don't really mind them doing well.
The thing is, they don't like us, do they? Yeah. They don't seem to like us lately.
Yeah. I mean,
both teams.
all my family are Villa pretty much on my
Yeah.
mum's side, so I've not. It's a derby, but then that's it. I don't like, and the few lads you have banter with in the pub, but it's not like I don't feel about Villa like I do West Brom.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's good to see West Midlands teams doing well. Because with the Wolves, I mean, they're both doing quite well this season, really. It's good to see. You wouldn't see as many West Midlands teams in the Premier League as possible, really.
To be fair, where are Wolves in the league?
They're 8th or 9th, I think now.
Yeah.
I hadn't checked after the last sort of game. Because it was the FA Cup and a few others played. I haven't really had a look, but West Ham, I think they won it now, so they went. I think we're only about 2 points off, 2 or 3 points off 7.
Into getting into Europe, yeah. So it's bearable. It's bearable, isn't it, for as a Villa fan? If that was like Blues, I wouldn't be able to even look at the table if they're about to get into Europe. So
yeah, and I think with the terms of like the FA Cup and where we are in the league, again, it's credit to O'Neill, and because of the small squad, it's actually quite incredible with what he's done so far. I do feel the Coventry game was a massive disappointment in terms of a lot of ways. But if somebody had said to me at the start of the season, you'll be in the FA Cup quarter-final and sitting like 2 or 3 points off 7th, I'd have just said, yeah, you can have another beer, mate. What do you want?
Yeah. To be fair, I didn't think you'd be anywhere near relegation, but I didn't also expect this either. I thought you'd be like, 13th, 14th or something. Or...
Yeah.
But I think of the game on Saturday, I expect a really tough game. I think it'd be fast, very fiery, and high energy, intensity right from the start, I think.
Yeah, I think Wolves need to probably weather like Niall said, if you come out fast, I think Wolves need to try and weather that, get a bit of an idea, and then try and control the game, maybe from the midfield, and see where we go that way, sort of thing. So I don't think we're going to come out the traps at Villa Park and be on to you straight away. I'd be very surprised if we are, but
it's so important that we start this game on the attack for the front foot.
The first goal's vital, isn't it, Chad? The first goal.
What about the two the other
cliche, but
the first two the other season when we beat you 3-2 might have been vital, but we won't mention that one. I know.
that was when we had the coach driver in charge. So we got a proper manager now. So
yeah, but to be fair, it was all Villa for 80 minutes, and then we got one. Villa switched off, and
I didn't go to that game. I didn't attend that game, but I remember watching it on the TV. Like.
Well, Matt, after that game, I got PTSD after that.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Villa was in control for 80 minutes, and Wolves didn't look like they were going to score at all. And then all of a sudden, there was 3 goals, and it was just like I was coming away like, how did we do that?
Do you remember Ruben Neves last minute?
Yeah, it's like, say slight deflection. It was a big one to take it the opposite way to where the keeper was going, wasn't it?
So I think even if we get 2-0, I think we need 3-0 to beat you, I think.
I don't think you'll see them sort of comebacks a lot, to be fair, but
yeah, we have to wait and see. But also, against Wolves, going back to what Niall was saying, we haven't got a great record against Wolves.
No, I was one of my dad's mates who's an Aston Villa fan, and he's a coach at Villa. And I speak to him quite a lot. And he messaged me this morning, and I think it was the last 6 at Villa Park. It was like draw, loss, like so on. And then I was reading the comments, and apparently Unai Emery's never beaten Wolves as a manager. So I didn't know that, but I'm sure
I'll tell you about an interesting stat. The last time we beat Wolves was in lockdown in the 2020-21 season.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a good record, but they all come to an end at some point, don't they? So you got to just take each derby as it is, the game by game. And if we manage to get a result, I mean, I'd be quite happy with a draw because I'm not sure who's sort of going to be fit. I think Cunha might be back, but whether he'll start again or not, I don't know.
Is Cham fit?
No, I believe. Well, he's been back. I've seen the video today of him going to training, and he was at training. There was 2 missing. There was Nori and Sarabia, but they was both travelling back from the international. And then Bellegarde, Cunha, and Cham was all there. But whether they're fit or they're just doing light work in the gym, or I don't know. So I'm waiting to see who is actually fit. To be honest.
Well, we're going back to last time we beat you. How about Al-Ghazi? Last minute penalty.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
I think going to Saturday though. The only thing that worries me playing against Wolves, we concede a lot of set pieces.
Yeah, well, Wolves haven't. If this is a positive for you, Wolves haven't scored a goal this season outside of the box. I think they're the only team in the top 5 European leagues.
Yeah.
But then on the other note, we've scored more goals at this point in the season than we have any other Premier League season. So it's a weird, another weird stat, that one. But
That's it. I think a lot of corners. We do seem to concede more goals. The defending set pieces, I think, which we're vulnerable from. We'll get better at it, I think. I think something that we'll improve on in training. But what does it matter about Wolves? When did they get the better of us in the last few seasons?
I don't know, really. I mean, all my Villa mates just say it's our World Cup final. That's all they say. But to me, Baggies is he's our main guy, like I've said. But I don't know. Maybe it's just the way Wolves why they set up in some games, let you attack and try and catch you on the counter, or they just try and get a goal to nick it. Or I don't know. It's quite strange actually why you've got this bad record, because I remember going back. And I think it was like the day Robbie Keane come on, and I think he scored 2 that day. And we didn't. Villa used to turn us over quite a bit, but for some reason recently you've just struggled.
So what's the talk to you now about? So Niall, do you think how tactically do you think they'll set up against each other, both teams?
I think Villa will definitely probably play with that 4-4-2 hybrid. I don't think they'll change that. I think the Wolves play 3-4-3, don't they, Matt? Is that right?
Well, it changes because of all the injuries. The last few weeks, we've Nori started at sort of left back, and then he's gone left wing back, then he's gone left mid, then up front. So it depends how the game's going, and he does change it. They do normally set up with the 3 centre backs, with the 2 wing backs. And then the 2 in midfield, but then again he normally might drop Doyle in and just go 2 up front. With it all depends. Which he sets up different for every game. He was on the Monday Night Football, and they said, "Do you change it?" And they always go off what the opposition. They'll always play the 3 at the back, but then they'll try and find different areas of where the analysis that they might get through and stuff. So they have changed it a little bit, but I definitely think we'll have the 3 at the back with the wing backs to try and cover a bit more.
Yeah, you'd expect Villa to have majority of the ball, and I think Wolves was probably playing the counter attack. I think try and nick some. But yeah, like I say, I think Villa will just try and get the game won in that first half an hour, I reckon.
But I think it's important that we control the game.
Yeah, because the last home game was, I couldn't believe that it was like we were the away team against Tottenham. It was like we just let them come on to us, even though we was at home. I thought we just sat back, didn't we? They were just like, it was just never end. I could think it was like 70% at half time possession to then. I couldn't believe it. I was thinking, That's just not like Villa at all. And he very rarely goes free. Well, he doesn't go free at the back, Emery. He did for that game.
And he got Yuri Tielemans.
And it was more. It wasn't even a free, really. It was more like we were penned in. It was like we had 5. It was obviously. It was like the wing backs, but it was like we were playing 5 at the back with a flat 3 in the midfield. Yeah, it was an odd. He got that one wrong. But he's entitled to get one. He's entitled to get one game wrong because he hasn't got a lot wrong. He's just been in situ.
Well, you can how does John McGinn miss out on that? You're saying like you'll try and control the possession. Does much go through him possession wise, or?
That's more. Louise is more of the ball playing midfielder. Yeah.
You got Yuri Tielemans.
Thing is, Tielemans isn't a like for like replacement, is he? Really for McGinn? I don't think it's like Ramsey would be another one. I don't know whether Ramsey's fit. He seems to be injured all the time lately. I don't know whether is he an option to come in.
Well, I've been listening to a few Aston Villa podcasts.
Yeah.
I've been saying about Yuri Tielemans. Do you think he should play further forward?
Yeah, I think he's more of a number 10 anyway. I think he's definitely that more advanced midfielder. Like Ramsey, him and Ramsey are very like. Whereas McGinn, we haven't really got anybody like McGinn, have we? But we've got that Tim bloke, but I don't think he's not really ready, is he? He hasn't really chucked him in really. With any.
I was impressed with Yuri Tielemans against England.
I did watch bits of that game. It was a very good header. That second goal was unreal, especially the cross as well.
Also, I think in this game, we have a lot of space in the wide areas, I think, to get forward.
Yeah, who's your fullbacks? Because I'm just thinking Bailey, the season that he's having as well.
Yeah, so we'll play Aït-Nouri and Semedo, and to be honest, both of them have been in very good form this year. They've both been, I'd probably say, up there for performers of the season. But again, they do like to go forward when they can. So it depends if Villa pin them back a little bit. It depends how they can sort of weather that. But they're both very fast. So if it's the game of running, them two will run all day.
You know what I want to see on Saturday? Tim around for them. I think we should start him.
Yeah, it'd definitely be the most like for McGinn, but it's just whether he's up to it. That's the thing. But he's only young, isn't he?
Maybe it's his time to shine. To not prove to the manager. He got a lot of potential.
Yeah, I think he could do with a loan really at the end of the season. You can give him a loan somewhere. Higher end Championship or bottom half Premier League.
But in Derby Day as well, it might give him the incentive to step it up.
Yeah.
And if he wants to be in and around the first team, he has got to step up and show Emery that he wants to play and wants to fight for his shirt, doesn't he, as well?
I think we're going to go back to John McGinn as well. I think we're going to miss on John McGinn. Getting into advanced positions, getting forward, drawing the team forward. So I don't think it's got one more bad after this one, I think, McGinn.
Trying to work it out now.
Yeah, I think it's got one more after Wolves, I think.
We got Man City midweek, haven't we? Who we got after Man City?
Is it Brentford or something? Is it?
Yeah, he's back for the. I remember working it out at the time. He's back for the Brentford game. Yeah, so you're right. So this is game 2 of 3 because it didn't count for European, did it? It didn't count for the European Conference.
I think he's going to be another miss. I think he's going to be another miss against Man City, though. Like you say, he's that defensive with a bit of the bite. If they, know well you play. To be fair, when you played them at earlier on in the season, I thought that was the best I've seen Villa play
It was the best performance I've ever seen Villa. But I will say they didn't have any. So they didn't have Haaland playing. I don't think. And Rodri was out. And whenever Rodri don't play, they don't win. It seems.
It's not very often you see Man City get dominated like they did against Villa earlier in the season. To be fair.
Yeah, but like I say, if Rodri would have been playing, it wouldn't have been. Honestly, if Rodri would have been on that pitch, I don't think it would have been the same kind of game. But you still got to give Villa the credit because it's still got good players, Man City. You know what I mean?
And what about the Wolves as well? They get results against big teams.
Yeah, we've not done too bad again this year.
Do you think Spurs?
Yeah, with Spurs we scored 2 late goals. Man City, and then we did Chelsea 4-1 at Stamford Bridge. And I know Chelsea ain't been great this year, but still to go there, and I think
still hard to go to.
There was a stat about that game as well. The last time we beat them was years and years ago, and it was a mad score, like 6 or 7-0. So that's how long it was ago, because back when teams could do that, like.
Well, Matt, I want to talk about Gary O'Neill. So what have you thought of Gary O'Neill this season?
So to start with, like, I don't like a lot of Wolves fans. I don't think we were sure what we was going to get. And I remember saying to my dad at the time, is he just a yes man to say, like, you can't have a transfer budget and you go, okay, I'll work with that and I'll work with this. But he's actually really, really surprised me. And yeah, I think he's done a great job. And like, there's talks of this Man United regroup and reshuffle and restructure. And I just hope that we can keep hold of him, to be fair. I know they always say, like, you might, like, Neves might go here, or when we had him and things like that, and Gomez now, his talk's moving on. But I think the biggest one we've got to keep for next season is Gary O'Neill, to keep the work that he's doing now. Try and give him a bit of money and see what else you can do.
Well, I think he's a very underrated coach.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Especially now this season, he was under the radar, and I think everybody sort of like me wrote him off before, and he's come in and he's changed the way some of the players think as well, because you used to watch some of them, and some of them it looked like, yeah, that's it, I'm still going to get the money, but if you don't put that shift in for him, he'll just take you off. He's not scared to change it because of who you might be like.
So we got Lopetegui. He left Wolves in the match.
Yeah, and I definitely do rate O'Neill better than Lopetegui. I know Lopetegui's been to places and won things, but he's been sacked from a lot of places that he's been because of the attitude, the same as he had at Wolves. We played in the pre-season friendlies, and they was asking him questions, and all he kept going back to was, it doesn't matter, I've got no players, throwing his dummy in the dirt rather than just saying, like, praising the lads that we've got and how well they'd actually done coming back. So I wasn't that disappointed to see him go, to be honest, but I didn't know who he was going to get in.
I mean, Gary O'Neill, he's a very young coach, but he's still learning.
Yeah, that's it. And I think if he keeps up what he's doing now, and he might go on to somebody else slightly bigger, and if he keeps going, and the way that he plays and his tactics, how he thinks about the game, I have said I thought he might potentially be an England manager in years to come if he can keep working on his, like you say, he's young, he's new. If he can keep getting that experience and fine tuning his plays and how the tactics, you never know, because he's, I think he'd do all right as well.
Because Gary O'Neill, he's only 40, I think.
Yeah, I know he's not very old. Yeah, I know he's quite young.
A lot of Wolves fans, before the season started, you said about relegation contenders.
Yeah, like I say, when he come in 3 days before the start of the season, I think a lot of the Wolves fan base was thinking, no money, we've had him in, and we thought it was going to be a struggle, but some games we've lost and we haven't played well, and some games we've lost and played really well, and then we've obviously won like, you know, against the big teams like you say, Chad. So I think we've done really well actually this season with what he's had to work with.
He managed to get the best out of the players he's got, which he has.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%.
Well, Niall, I'll ask you the next question. So, do you think Aston Villa will get Champions League or 5th place?
Can I just say, by the way, the work that Gary O'Neill's done is incredible. Pound for pound, you know, taking into consideration his expectations and resources that he's got at Wolves, he's up there for manager of the season for me.
He can't be sniffed at.
I just want to say that.
Yeah,
the work he's done, and he's done it at Bournemouth as well.
I think he could be as well, but I do feel like manager of the season will go to Klopp because it's going to be his last one.
Probably,
I think now, but on terms of performances, like Gary O'Neill's up there, Emery's got to be up there because he's got Villa sitting 4th as well. So
he deserves a shout. It's incredible work, mate.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
like
He
Chad
should
said,
get
underrated.
nominated.
Yeah, I think he should because, like I say, everyone doubted him, and he's proved a lot of us wrong, and we've grown to love him really because he's passionate to the fans, he's passionate about the club, and you can't ask any more from that from a manager. If you've got that drive and that passion and the connection with the fans, you get that little bit of a buzz with going into games.
Yeah. Back to your question, Chad, about Villa.
Yes.
I think 5th. I think we'll finish 5th. I think it's going to be a toss-up between Man U and Villa for 5th. We could easily end up 6th, in my opinion. The injuries, the suspensions might catch up with us. Man U have been there before; they know how to get there. We don't. But I think 4th is going to be Tottenham, and then it's between us and Man United for 5th. And you just got to hope that the coefficient goes down to England then, and we get through the back door.
But Arsenal got Bayern Munich. So hopefully Arsenal beat Bayern Munich out for them.
Yeah, we need teams to do well, don't we, in all the competitions? I mean, normally I'd want Bayern Munich to win that, but I don't want Arsenal doing well in Europe, but needs must.
You got West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham, yeah. I don't know who they've got. I can't remember. Liverpool, we need them to do well. We need ourselves to probably do well. West Ham.
Bayern Leverkusen I've got.
Well,
That's a tough game.
That's going to be hard, yeah.
And it's annoying that it's a German side as well, because Germany currently I think they've got the second place in the coefficient, haven't they? Germany, I think, as it stands.
I think most Aston Villa fans don't want 4th. Just get it secured.
I'd take 5th though. I literally would take 5th with the injuries
if it got Champions League, yeah.
I think I'll just take it anyway, and then just hope that we do get that coefficient. 6th, I wouldn't be very happy because we have been in the top 5 all season. So minimum, I want to finish 5th. If we finish 6th, then to me that'd be failure because why should we be the exception to the rule? If you're in the top 5 normally the whole season, you make it, don't you? But if we end up finishing 6th, then it shouldn't be a pat on the back for the. You know, I honestly don't think we will finish 6th, but we could. That's the thing, we could.
Well, with Unai, we need to finish as high as we can. Try and finish as high as we can.
Yeah.
I think what they've got to do is, and I know this is an old saying, but I think if they treat every game like an FA Cup final from now to the end of the season and put their all in, they've got a good chance because some of the games Villa have played this season, like you say, you've been up there all year. It would be gutting to not finish 4-4 in the Champions League spots wherever they may be.
Well, I think the next 5 games for Aston Villa are huge.
We've got 10 games left, haven't we? I think we're playing 7 fixtures because we got to play Arsenal away, Man City away, and Liverpool at home. I think them games, it's going to be tough asks to get anything out of them. So we're basically playing with 7 games, aren't we? There's 3 free hits, as you call them. We've probably got to win 4 out of them 7. Them 7 games taking away the top 3. I think we've got to win about 4 out of the 7 to like confirm 4th and keep an eye on what Tottenham are doing as well.
Well, the Champions League, it's got so many long-term benefits as well. extra revenue.
Oh, qualifying for it. Oh yeah, it's
In
huge.
the
It's going to be huge,
revenue.
mate. It's going to be huge for the club. That's what it has to. You have to prioritise that over in everything for me. Because as soon as people will say, "Oh well, we want to win a trophy," get that monkey off the back, and we haven't won anything for 28 years. But if we get into the elite, meaning the Champions League, then the trophies will come. I mean, look at Man City and Chelsea. As soon as they started qualifying for it regular, then the trophies came after that. People have just got to be patient with the trophy thing.
You get the pull of the players as well, don't you? I mean, like years gone by, if you've tried to sign someone and they've said, "Oh, no, I want to play Europe, really. I want to be in the Champions League." And if you do get it, then you just turn around and say, "Well, we've got the Champions League." So
Correct.
It's a bit of a pulling power towards the players as well.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. And to keep your present players as well.
Yeah.
Martinez is a Champions League goalkeeper. He's eventually going to want to be playing in that.
You got Ollie Watkins as well. Douglas Luiz.
Yeah, these players could play in that. I think they're good enough to play in the Champions League. So if we don't make it, they could easily turn around and say, "Well, I want to move somewhere."
Do you think if you don't get the Champions League, Emery could go? Because Bayern Munich have been linked with him, haven't they?
I'll let Chad answer first if you want.
I don't think. I think it depends, really. I think with Emery, he knows with Villa, there's a long-term project there. I mean, that's a tough one, really, but I think mine, we don't get Champions League. He might mind me staying for another season. I think Emery's here to stay, I think.
It's going to depend on the club, I think, Matt. I think it's going to depend on... I don't think he'd go to Bayern Munich. I think if someone like Liverpool came in for him, or Man United even, and Villa fans will have a go at me for that, but it's still Man United. I know they're not very good at the moment, but I think it depends. Real Madrid or Barcelona, I think he'd be an idiot not to go. But I don't think he'd go to Bayern Munich. They're still a huge club, don't get me wrong, but I just think, I don't know, I can't see that.
I've seen it earlier that he was linked, and I just thought, well, if they don't get fourth, would it? What would he do? But like you said, Niall, I think O'Neill's been tipped for Man United to go as part of their new structural development and things like that. Mm-hmm. But I said earlier on in the week, why would anybody want to go to United? Because they haven't got anything like they used to, and I think
they're not progressive.
And the fans get on the back quite quickly if the results aren't going the way. So you've got teams like Villa and Wolves who both love the managers. When you go to Man United, you don't get treated the same by the fans there.
What you mean, yeah. But it is all about, though, surely as a manager.
But they will go for money.
Surely it's all about wanting to manage the biggest and best clubs. Surely everyone's vying to be at the very top.
Yeah.
And I know Man U aren't very good at the moment, but the club itself is probably one of the biggest clubs in the world, if not the biggest club.
Yeah.
So I'd get it if he went there. I'd understand it. I'd be disappointed if he went to Bayern Munich, though, because it's not a very good league, is it? And what chance really is he going to have of just, I don't know, doing anything spectacular at Bayern Munich? Do you know what I mean? I think everybody gets like a buzz off like, doing remarkable work.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, I wanted to ask you, do you think Wolves will get Conference League football this season?
Well, you can never say never because we have got a chance, but with the injuries at the moment, I can't see us scoring many from the forward line, and obviously to win the games, you obviously need the goals. But I think if we had those four, I think we'd stand a decent chance because there's options as well. Because there was a couple that have come off the bench or come. I think we may have had a better chance then. I'd say never say never, but I think it'd be quite difficult because there's West Ham, Wolves, Newcastle, and Chelsea all floating around looking for that. So I think it'd be quite difficult.
But I think the thing that might let Wolves down is Wolves, their injuries.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that will be the determining factor as well. I mean, if we get a result, I don't know, against Villa, and then we can get the couple. I think we've got I know we've got Burnley in the week, but we've got a few winnable games. We've got West Ham as well, so that'll be another big one in terms of that fight for that 7th or 8th, whoever it falls spot. But then we also have got Liverpool away. I think there's Arsenal away. I think it's Arsenal at home, Liverpool away. So it's going to be tough, I think.
Well, I did see the supercomputer. Supercomputer. So Wolves will finish 8th.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't get the conference, it won't be the worst thing. But I think if we can finish in the top 10, we've had a very good season, given the factors that we spoke about earlier, to be honest.
Excellent season.
Yeah.
I think most Wolves fans would be happy with that.
Yeah, I would. If somebody said to me, top 10 finish this season, I'd have said, yeah, I'd be very happy with that.
Well, Matt, I want to talk about how did Wolves fans feel after the FA Cup quarter-final exit against Coventry? Was it a missed opportunity?
Yeah, it was a missed opportunity. And I was quite disappointed. I got back from the game and like Jade was in, and I didn't speak to her for hours after the game. I just didn't want to speak because I was like, how have we cocked that all up? At the start of the game, I thought, let's go for it. Let's get to Wembley. Whoever you get, we ended up would have been Chelsea, but whoever you get, you're at Wembley semi-final. Great day out. But on the other note, I have to say we never looked like winning that game, and before Wolves went up 2-1, it could have easily been 3 or 4 to Coventry, but Sarr had probably the best game in a Wolves shirt, which kept us in the game. But I thought Coventry did deserve it as a whole, to be honest.
It's amazing in football how quickly it changes. 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
When you were singing you were going to Wembley. Then you wasn't.
Well, all the fans were singing it, and I looked at my dad, and my dad said, I'm not saying nothing yet, because he's been going to Wolves for like 40, 50 years now, and even he said he's been there and seen it all happen before, seen us lose late on. He said, and on the way there that day, I was going, well, if we get to Wembley, how are we getting there? What are we going to do? We stay? And he said, I'm not talking about it, not talking about it till it happens. And after the game, he just turned around and said, I told you.
I'll tell you what, though. It was a great cup tie.
Yeah, it was a good one to watch, apart from the last two goals. But yeah, Coventry deserved it. They played well. And yeah, I mean, it would be a good day out for them, I think. And if they could get past Chelsea, even better if like an underdog and someone that never would have thought they would have got to where they are, really, probably this season. But
the Wolves, actually, if they beat Coventry, they might have got to the final.
Yeah, and again, I said to my dad, it'd be great to get, that could have been a nice way to get into Europe if we could have just gone those last few steps, and that might have been an easier way into Europe by winning them 3 games than it would to try and get results in the 8 in the league. We couldn't manage that, so we'll see.
And it would have been the Europa League as well. So
yeah, that's it.
I don't think you'll make that in the league, whereas the conference you might, but it would have been the Europa League, so it would have been the better competition anyway.
Yeah, and to be honest, I do think Man City will win it.
Yeah, of course they will. Yeah,
I think that. Yeah, I think they will win it, but it would have been nice. Like I said to my dad, it would have been 3 games away from Europe rather than 8, and you've got 4 teams going for that sort of thing. All you had to do. But yeah, like I say, Coventry did deserve it, and they did play a lot better than us on the day. But
mind the gap.
And it's only taken 44 minutes, Matt.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for it. But I think since Villa beat us, Chad, haven't we had a World Cup and a Euros and qualifying, I think.
Things you can't even class that either, that 2021 game, because football didn't really count that season, did it? Let's be honest. the COVID season. I was trying to work out the last time we've beaten you with fans. I couldn't in the league anyway. I couldn't remember.
2018.
Was it?
Was it 4-1 at Villa Park?
Oh, I remember that one.
No, that was the Championship. Yeah, I try and forget about that era.
Yeah, but it was still that. I think that was the last time with the fans.
I think it was, to be fair. Premier League, then Premier League with obviously with fans. It's got to be when you were in it before, since the 2010s. It's got to be.
Yeah, with fans, possibly. Yeah, you probably still had Esky then, didn't you?
Probably, yeah.
I remember in 2018. The card for Jonathan.
Yeah. It's,
the Iceman.
Did you have? Did Codger score that day as well? When you had him, maybe.
I can't really remember. I think 90. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think that day. I think he terrorised us. I think it was Codger. I could be wrong, but that's who I think it was.
Well, that day as well. The ex-Wolves striker Diego Jota got the equaliser.
Did he?
I remember it well.
Yeah. So, but no, I'm looking forward to that. Like I've always said, and I know we say about Villa, Blues and Baggies, but I'd rather us all be in the Premier League and waking up on a Saturday or on the weekend and going, oh, I've got Villa away, I've got Baggies away, I've got Blues away, waking up rather than going, oh, great, another trip to Bournemouth or away to Fulham. I'd rather have the sort of derby games, if you like.
So, Matt, I want to ask you, so what Wolves players should we fear about?
I don't know about fear because I don't think any team should fear playing anybody. But like Gomez and Lamina in midfield are quite strong. They're quite hard, and they do get quite a lot going through them. If Cunha's fit, Cunha has been pretty decent this year. Ait Nouri's probably he's dangerous going forward. He's very skillful and he's fast for a left back. He's very skillful.
But Ait Nouri is a very good fullback, he is.
Yeah, and I do think he will move on to. I could see him probably going to a decent team, to be fair, like a big team, to be fair. But for me, he just gets the ball, he runs, and like I say, he's very skillful. He draws in the tackles and gets us up the pitch. So he's probably one to look out for, from my point of view, on Saturday, maybe.
He loves to get forward.
Yeah.
Gets assists as well.
Yeah, I mean, for a fullback, he does spend a lot of time in the opposition half, and that's what I think. I think that's why O'Neill has the back three to allow Semedo and Aguilar to try and overlap. Yeah.
Well, I was talking about a lot.
Cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it injured then, isn't it? Is Matty Cash injured?
I'm not sure. We didn't play for Poland, did he, in midweek? So he could.
Actually, I'm sure he is. Actually, I think
that's another one. Then we'll probably play Konza right back then.
So, Chad, me flipping the question to you then, who do you think Wolves should be worried about?
A lot of them, but also, obviously, Ollie Watkins, I think Douglas Louise. Also, I don't think the one that I reckon as well, Leon Bailey.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's been probably our best player this season, or one of.
He's improved so much.
It's his numbers, isn't it, Chad? His numbers have just gone through the roof.
His stats are incredible.
Yeah.
And Mason Diarby.
Yeah, the probably the best day of the season for me, that. The Albion away.
But now let's talk about memories from Aston Villa versus Wolves over the years. I'll start with you first, Niall. What's your best memory?
Honestly, there's not a lot of them. Not the games that I've attended. Like I say, I can't think of a game that I've seen us beat Wolves that I've been at. Because I didn't attend that 4-1. I couldn't go to that game. That one was on about earlier in the Championship. But in terms of just overall memories of takeaway, not being at the game, probably the 3-2 Robbie Keane 2012, I think it was. There's that one. There's the Heskey header at Molineux as well. Maybe the season before that.
Yeah, you mentioned Robbie Keane. That was a super sub.
He's a brilliant player. He was great when he was on the Wolves books, and when he come on, the Wolves fans still love him to this day. But he scored 2 cracking goals that day.
On the volley.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would go with that as well.
Yeah, and then the other game that comes to mind was that when Heskey scored in the last minute at Molineux. One of the few goals that he did score for us.
Yeah, I think for me, it'd be that one. And 2019. Apart from that, there's not many ones, really.
I try and wipe away the Championship here. I don't really want to bring that one up.
It was a tough area.
To be fair,
they went up as well. We never even went up.
I've got 2 games that do stick out, to be fair.
Yeah.
The 3-2 at Villa Park, and I know Villa probably deserved the overall because of the 80 minutes, but just the 3 goals in the last sort of 10 minutes plus injury time was just being there, like with my dad and a few of the others. It was just incredible because the Villa crowd was so loud. And the next thing, when it went 3-2, they was all going in. It was just like, it's just one of them memories, winning that late on in a game that you come away thinking, wow, what a great 10 minutes we had there. Like,
I mean, that game contributed to Dean Smith getting the boot, that game, I believe. I think it massively contributed to it.
I think so as well.
And then the other game, again, like, was the Championship one, when we beat you 2-0 at Wolves and Bonatini and Jota scored. That was another quite a good atmosphere, and we played pretty well that day. So that was another one that I thought probably up there for me with that one as well.
That was Molineux. Was that one at Molineux?
Yeah, Molineux. Yeah.
I remember. I think
I think I'm not sure. Was that the night game? Was it evening kickoff as well? I can't remember now.
I think it was.
But I think it was flood. I think the floodlights was on and stuff. So that's all I'm trying to think if it was the night game. But yeah, like again on Saturday, I love night games. Like if somebody said to me, pick your kickoff time, I'd choose night game every time. I love the evening night games when the floodlights.
5:30,
Yeah, and I just like the floodlights on, and when you go in. Like when you go at that time and that you the freshly cut grass and like it's just the whole,
The atmosphere is incredible then.
Yeah, I think, they'll say because everyone's had a few more beers, they want to sing more, but I just think that I think the fans enjoy the night games and the evening games rather than the early ones. And
Well, we're coming towards the end of the podcast. So can both of you give me your score predictions?
I'll go 2-2.
Yeah, I was going to say 2-2 as well. Funny enough, we just never beat them. You just sit at home. It seems, it seems like it's going on. And at Molineux, it seems like it's going on forever. Obviously, take away that El Ghazi penalty game with COVID. I think draw.
Yeah, 2-2. I think we'll see some goals. I think Wolves will struggle going forward with the front line, but I think the goals might come if Aït-Nouri can get into a position like you said, Chad. He's got a few assists, and Lamina likes to make a few runs into the box and Semedo back. So I think there'll be a few goals. I'd like to say 2-2. I think. What do you think, Chad?
I'm going to go with a 2-1 with 2-1.
I like the positivity. Someone's got to be, haven't they?
Yeah, there's somebody else in there.
I do actually think I'm probably contradicting myself a bit. I think if anyone probably does win, it probably will be us. But I'm just going to go draw because of this hoodoo they seem to have on us.
Yeah, I think Villa have got the better chance given the players that are in form and the players that are missing and what you're chasing to where we sort of are as well. So I could see Villa probably nicking it, but with, like you said, Niall, with the hoodoo and how we seem to play, that's why I can't look past a draw. Like, at the minute.
But I think it could be the day we finally beat Wolves.
Will you have a party then, Chad?
Yeah, 100%.
No, don't rise to it, Chad. It's like playing Gillingham, remember?
Well, before we finish, I'm going to read some comments. Thank you for all the comments tonight. We've got Michael Huggins. Should be a good game on Saturday, but we must be focused for this game as Wolves are up for it. Good look at John as well.
Yeah, I thought that was quite a good comment, mate. I think both teams will be up for it, so that's why I hope it'll be a good game.
Yeah, I'll look at some more comments. We've got this other comment here. John Guymerson. I understand Wolves haven't scored with a shot from outside the box this season. You just know they will Saturday. Now 4-1 Villa. Hopefully you're right, hopefully. That's good positive.
I don't know. I know you've done it before and won 4-1 and stuff, but I think there's quite a bold score for the derby games. They're like Niall said, they are quite cagey, so it doesn't happen too often that the big results against the derby games. Not that I can remember anyway. Obviously the 4-1 against Villa, and then obviously the loss against Baggies 5-1 years ago. So they're the only two that stick out for me.
And let's have a look at one more comment. Michael Huggins, we will on Saturday. I believe in Emery to get it right. Yeah, well, thank you very much. Michael Huggins. Yeah, I really enjoyed the show, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've enjoyed it. And speaking to Niall again, and obviously the catch up with you, Chad, before the annual game. It's been good.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us on again, mate.
We're going to wrap up this episode. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you enjoyed this podcast, please give it a like, share this video, and subscribe. I'm getting close to 800. So hit that subscribe button. If you haven't, remember to make sure to click the bell icon so you don't miss out on new content. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section as well. Thank you so much, Matt and Niall, for your time.
No problem, mate.
Thank you.
Like I say, always a pleasure.
Right, I'm going to wrap up this episode with Up the Mighty Villa.
Up the Villa.
Yeah, this is just the outro. Do you click the wrong one?
That one here.
Hang on, we just did it. We just did it outro. Click cancel. We got a bit of technical difficulties. Hang on. Click cancel.
Cancel.
Yeah.